Welcome to Reading Sprints. You've just got me tonight because I wasn't organised enough to ask anybody to come with me. I'm really tired, so I also might not be the best conversationalist, so it's probably for the best. I've got my Horlicks because I am secretly a grandma in disguise, and I'm already wearing my Nightmare for Christmas pyjamas, so I'm properly settling in to get cozy for the night. So tonight I've got a few different things I want to do. I've been sent an early copy of this book, which is not called The Book of Crime Punishment. It is called Keep Your Friends Close. Cynthia Murphy's new book. It's the prequel to Win, Lose, Kill, Die, and it's really good so far. So I really want to read some of that. I also am trying to figure out Instagram, which is laughable because I've been on Instagram for years. But I've never really looked into, like, say, filters and how to edit posts and stuff like that. I tend to just record stuff and post it. So I'm trying to be a bit more mindful and thinking about how best to use my Instagram, how I can reach readers and reach people who want to chat about horror and Buffy stuff like I do. So if you see me scanning my phone, it's because I find technology challenging. So I'm going to be looking into filters and trending sounds and all that exciting stuff tonight. I'm also writing a new book, finally. I spent all last year, it seems, editing. And I'm writing a new book and I'm enjoying it so far. I'm at the bit where I still don't quite know what it is or who it's for, but at the minute it's just for me. Anyway, so I'm kind of just having fun and seeing where it goes. I think I've written about 8,000 words, so it would be nice if I could add another 1,000 to that this evening. And then I'm hoping by the end of January I might have really hit my stride with it and know what it's going to be. So let's see what people in the comments are saying, and then we can probably jump straight to the first sprint. I'm definitely going to do a 40-minute sprint, a 40-minute sprint. I may do a third sprint depending on whether I'm falling asleep by that point. I'm also watching The Substance. Please let me know in the comments if you've seen it because I'm finding it incredibly weird. We're about maybe just over halfway through, so probably in the last sprint I'll finish that. So again, expressions of confusion maybe in evidence because I'm not sure whether this film is for me yet. I'm finding it... I think it's meant to be uncomfortable watching, isn't it? But I don't think I'm the person for uncomfortable films. I like to feel cozy and comfortable, even when I'm watching horror. I like things like slashers where I feel quite safe, and it's making me feel, I don't know, it's a bit too chilling, I think, possibly for me. I'm a bit of a softie when it comes to horror. So a couple of comments have popped up. Let's read those and then go to a sprint. Hi, Stephen. Oh, I need to read more Riley Sager. That is my sign that I need to actually pick up some of the books I own because I've read, I want to say Final Girl, maybe, way back when. And I bought a couple more of his books. I think that might be one of them, actually. Is that the Haunted House one? Oh, maybe I need to dig this out. I need to have a very, very good bookshelf sort. Ah, that sounds so nice, Chloe. You go do that. Do you know what? I'm so glad you said that, Caroline, because I was like, is it me? You know that whole meme, am I the problem? I wasn't sure whether I was just not getting it. And Kevin and I just kept looking at each other like, do we understand this? I think what I wanted was a little bit more character development without spoiling it too much of the two sides of the coin, if that makes sense. I didn't feel that they were balanced and that I understood all of the characters in the film, if that makes sense. I wanted a little bit more of like how it works, what's actually happened here. And maybe that's, I'm assuming that is intentional, but I like more. And I also like less of the food scenes would have been nice. And less of just quite a lot of the body horror. Maybe visual body horror isn't for me. I'm okay with it in books because I think my imagination just sanitizes it a little bit and goes, let's not go there. I think my imagination is YA, whereas seeing it on screen is adult. But I felt weird all day today. Like every time I thought about that film, I was like, ooh. And yet I am going to finish it. I do want to see. I thought it was. That might be a good way into Riley Sager for me, I think. Thank you, because I'm pretty sure I bought that one and maybe one other. I don't remember which the other one is, which doesn't bode well. But yeah, Haunted House, got it. Adding it to the list. I've been reading loads of adult books lately. I need Sharon to summon Sharon at some point and Kasha, because I'm trying to delve into what adult horror I could read. I've been reading Mother Horror's book, 101 Horror Books to Read Before You're Murdered, and that was super helpful because it's kind of helping me to figure out what genres I like in horror and recommendations within those genres. So maybe what I need to do is buy a few of those books and start there. Oh, do you know, Caroline, we are the same person, I think, when it comes to interest in stuff, because I like what it's trying to achieve. I love the fact that it is tackling head on the extreme beauty standards that women in particular, but that everybody is held to. And I think Demi Moore was really brave to take that on, and the young actress who is also in it, who again I'm not going to spoil what part she plays. I think that they were both really bold and did it really well, but there's just something. I nearly said it's something in the substance of it that is lacking, and yeah, it feels quite arty to me, and I want a little bit more meat of character development and a little bit of less of other kinds of meat, like Caroline said. Like some of the food scenes are really weird. I can't even explain it without spoiling what happens, but yes. Yeah, and it's the stuck in my head thing. Like it got to about 10 o'clock last night, and I was like, can you just put something else on for 15 minutes so I don't go to sleep with that in my head? So, and I really want to watch this series from that everybody's telling me I need to watch. Can't ever remember the name, but I think that's what it's called. I know it's some preposition that seems like an odd title. I keep wanting to call it with. I don't think that's the thing. So yeah, I think I need to get through the substance, grit my teeth, and watch some from. Ah, that sounds good. I don't think I've heard of that book or author, Chloe. Are we talking romance? I feel like it might be for some reason. Yes, exactly. This is it. Oh no, this is. See, I think we might have only got about 40 minutes left, maybe. And it was just going into something that did seem a bit ludicrous. I'm playing a really cozy game on my phone, something like Starbrew Cafe. So I might just put Starbrew Cafe in front of it and just peek every now and again. Hello. I have not, and I've forgotten. Were we talking about this? I'm gonna have to look it up now because I feel like we might have had a conversation about this, and I can't remember. I talk about so many books on here. The Unmothers. It's brought up something called The Mother of Penguins. Google knows me too well. There's a lot of penguin talk in our house. Oh, that's a cool cover, Andreas. Okay, I'm going to look at that properly in the sprint. Andreas, I feel like you will have watched The Substance. What do you think of it? Because I'm undecided. Oh, you have my interest. I've done so bad at Winterween. Oh, that's a shame, Chloe. Maybe it doesn't have my interest. There are too many thriller books on my TBR. So I started off with really good intentions, reading Hell House, which is a house on the cover and a horror. So I thought, great, I'm doing really well. I'm ticking off prompts left, right, and centre. But this book is so good, and I really want to read it. Keep your friend. I'm holding upside down, and it's probably back to front to you as well, just to add confusion. Keep Your Friends Close is a YA thriller that I'm reading. It's the prequel to Win Lose Kill Die for those who've just joined, and I'm really enjoying it. So I think it fits one prompt. It doesn't have a scary house on the cover, is a thriller rather than horror, but just leaning into it. Okay, so let me know in the comments if you've watched The Substance, if I'm going to hate the ending of it, because I'm scared now that Caroline said the last half hour is full on, because I've found, oops, everything's jumping around. See, this is interesting. Yeah, I feel like it is intentional. And yeah, maybe this is it. I am what I consider a horror viewer. However, I've discovered that I don't like horror that gives me incredible feelings of discomfort. And I think that is intentional in this film, like you said, Andreas. However, I don't think it's for me. And I like what it's saying about Hollywood. And well, I don't like it, if that makes sense. I think it's the right message that we need out there. But it's just not, the delivery of it is just not my thing at all. And that's the really interesting thing with films, isn't it? The Kasha recommended Longlegs to me that I watched at the end of last year, and I think it was one of her films of the year. And I just didn't. I thought there were things that were excellent about it, but I didn't quite vibe with it. And I think horror is really, especially subjective compared to other genres. It can really divide you because it can just. I want horror to push me to the edge of somewhere and to make me feel like a real adrenaline rush. And I didn't interpret it that way at all, Caroline. I'm the same. Like, I think if ever I'm saying, oh man, I really don't like it, it's a personal taste. And for me, it is one of those films that's intended to provoke a really strong reaction. And like Andrea said, like, I'm sure the over the top ending is exactly what the director and the cast and everybody involved wanted to achieve, but I think it's just a step too far for me. I mean, there's one scene of body horror in particular where I was just like sitting there and thinking I need to look away because I'm not even sure whether I can cope with this. And I thought I was quite hardcore. About body horror, I kind of didn't think that was a problem for me, but it is. And in books, fine. Apparently, in some films, I can't cope. I always think I can handle more horror than I actually can, I think. I wasn't sure going into the substance actually it was going to be horror. I was getting kind of slow burn thriller vibes to begin with, and then it's just recently taken a turn and I'm like, oh man, yeah, we're definitely watching horror. This is definitely horrifying me. Yes, see, Nosferatu, I've been so desperate to watch, but my mum is our babysitter and she's currently away. So I'm without a babysitter. I haven't watched it yet. Very sad about that because it is one of my most anticipated films of this year. I love Nicholas Hoult. Obviously, it goes without saying that I love anything that is discreetly retelling Dracula, which apparently the original Nosferatu was doing. See, I get that. I get it. I get what he was trying to do, but I just felt weirded out all the way through and slightly confused at points. I don't know. I think maybe, things that are slightly arty. I think generally I like a message to kind of hit me over the head a bit more. Like I like action films, I like slashers, I like rom-coms. Like I think anything that's a bit subtle, maybe it's because I'm always tired when I watch stuff these days, but oh, I'm so excited. Everything I see, I'm trying not to see too much just because I don't want to spoil it. But everything I see, I'm just drawing in. It looks so good. And yeah, I just really need to see it soon. I might have to watch it on my own if time goes on much longer because I don't want it to leave the cinema. But it may be that I can rent it as soon as it leaves the cinema. Stuff seems to go on to rent, doesn't it? So I'm pointing my TV, you can't see it. Okay, just rambling on to myself. So let's pause on the rambles there. I've marked where we're up to in the comments. Let me know, other people in the comments, if you've watched any good horror films lately, and if you've watched The Substance, what did you think? This is true, but it's the delivery and it's what they do with it. Like, I mean, I've written my own Dracula retelling, right? But I think hopefully you'll be surprised with some of the stuff I've decided to do with it, because I had certain issues with Dracula that I've addressed. Some stuff I haven't done because I didn't want to just fully retell it. I wanted to do my own thing. But yeah, I get your point that I'm obviously not going to be surprised by the plot or the characters. But yeah, I might have read Dracula just a few times, or 20. Oh, really? Is he unrecognizable? That is cool. He's so versatile. I saw an interview with him, and again, I was trying not to watch too closely because I didn't want to spoil the film too much, but they got him to pull some faces that he pulls in the film, and he just transformed. And I think the same with him playing Pennywise. I just think the Skarsgård, are they brothers, Alexander and Bill? I think they're just an incredibly talented family, because is he called Alexander? Oh gosh, I'm gonna have to look. Who plays Eric on True Blood? I'm gonna have to look it up. I've started rewatching True Blood again, actually, and I'm really, really enjoying it. I'd forgotten. I knew I loved it, but I'd forgotten how much. Yeah, Alexander Skarsgård. I think he might be my favorite Skarsgård, actually, for obvious reasons. Ooh, I love true crime movies. Okay, so do you think I'll be able to handle it, Andreas? You know the scale now. I can't handle the substance. Is the substance too? If the substance is too far, can I handle this one? And that's the real danger with horror. And I quite like walking that line, to be honest. However, so I test myself out with stuff all the time. Like I started reading Nosferatu by, oh come on, Stephen King's son, Joe Hill. And it was way too much for me. The first chapter just references, without going too graphic, a killer who's abducted children. And I was just like, nope. Okay, hard note. And it even talks a little bit about the circumstances of that. And I can't do it. I can't read stuff like that. I love Joe Hill's books. I obviously love vampire books. Okay, adding that tentatively to the list. I don't know. I really wanted to read Nosferatu. I want to see if I could push through, and I had to put it down. So we'll see. Maybe when I'm not, the mother of a small child and he's an older child, I'll be okay. But yeah, exactly. I'm with you. And to be honest, when I'm watching true crime, somehow, if it's really factual and kind of not over sensationalizing what happens, even if what happens is terrible, I'm generally okay. And okay, interesting. I like Anna Kendrick's. Yeah, it's a tricky one, true crime. Because yeah, I quite like going into true crime knowing a little bit about it as well. Okay, that's cool. Anna Kendrick's managed to do it. Okay, So I'm gonna pop a sprint on. So go and grab a cuppa, read, do whatever you're going to do. Let me know what you're getting up to. Let me know the horror movie and book recommendations while we're at it, and I will try and do the same. Some that I've loved recently are The Madness by Dawn Kurtagich, also Dracula retelling, very, very good, which focuses on Lucy Westenra and Mina. That and Heads Will Roll by Joshua Winning, off the top of my head. They're two of my recent favourite books I've read. Let's do a sprint and then we'll come back and do more chatting and recommending. See you in a bit. Hello, we're back. Cat made me jump. I always realise I've got a couple of minutes left and I think, oh, I'll be fine. And then it makes me jump. Yeah, I had a bit of a broken bit. I ended up a broken sprint. I ended up spending a bit of time sorting my social media, getting a post up on my Instagram, just trying something a bit new. I don't know whether I've quite pulled it off, but we'll see. And then I did some writing. I'm finding this book a little bit slow to get into. I am enjoying it, but there's certain scenes where I'm getting a bit stuck, and I think it's because I haven't fully bottomed it out yet. But what I'm planning to do is kind of write through it, get to a certain point where I feel like I know, and then maybe go back and tweak accordingly. So yeah, we'll see. I think this book probably is going to go somewhere, but not every book does, and that's fine. I think it's all part of the process. But yeah, I think this one probably has legs, but I'm still figuring out what those legs are. So let's see how the people in the comments are getting on. So yeah, I think what I'm probably going to do is do a little bit more writing in the next sprint, but I am getting tired. So maybe that we jump onto watching Substance at some point and I brave the ending. I'll let you know how I get on. Hello. I don't know why I said hello. Anyway, hi Marlene, nice to see you. Excellent. You enjoying it anymore, Chloe, or are you still struggling? Ooh, I've not heard of that, but I love a kind of final battle scene. That's always good fun. I've had a weird reading month. I've only finished 2 books this month so far. I was kind of intending to read more, but various things have hijacked my attention. Kev's just wandered onto the mirror. Sorry, it's distracted me. Yeah, I don't know. I've been a bit fragmented in general this month. I feel like I've been jumping around a few different things, and sort of I need to get my head down and kind of get a bit more into some of my projects, if that makes sense. I've been working a bit on my social media, working on this new book. Oh, I haven't heard of that either. I've obviously totally missed this, Marlene. Yeah, I mean, it happens, doesn't it? 4 5-star reads is pretty impressive. I really like the 2 books I've read this month so far, both non-fiction, both weirdly by One Tree Hill actresses. It wasn't intentional. Dinner for Vampires, which is about how one of them was in a cult, which I did not know. Neither did she at the time. And then Grimoire Girl, which is kind of Hilary Burton Morgan, I think she's called. It's her grimoire, as she calls it, and it's sort of a collection of memories and musings on her life. And she's quite witchy and spiritual, so there's lots of interesting stuff in there that I want to learn more about. So it's really cool. I just need to read some fiction this month, and then I'll be able to round it off nicely. Oh, lokomoko, amazing! As in like the Hawaiian dish. I had that when I was there. It was really good. Oh, that's so cool. I didn't even, sorry, I should have read ahead. I didn't know that you didn't know what that was. Oh, you got it from me. Nice. Do you know what? I've got so many things in my books that I really like eating, like beignets. And beignets in particular, I've not tried making them. They look really difficult. So yeah, I write all these nice things. I'm like, oh, sad. I've just written a food scene in my new book as well. I don't seem to be able to start writing about food. Yeah, it was really well done. You know, with nonfiction, it kind of rests on how the author writes. She's very candid and it's very gripping the way she explains what happened to her. And as far as cult stuff goes, she says herself, it's not the most extreme, but still it's really awful and insidious. And just it shows like the gradual decline, which I always think is really interesting and toxic about cults, that something can seem like a good thing when it starts and people just get gradually pulled into it. Oh, nice. Yeah, I don't read a lot of science fiction, and to be honest, I haven't ever really, because whenever I read it, I just get confused. It seems to be a pattern of that. I watch horror of a certain type and I'm confused. I watch sci-fi and read sci-fi and I'm confused. I think I watch more sci-fi than reading it. I somehow find it a bit more digestible that way. Oh, amazing. You've made beignets. Did you fry them? That is what I'm scared of. I'm a bit scared of hot oil. I feel like it would go horribly wrong because I'm so clumsy. Let me know how that went. All of my books are like this, Marlene. Like, yeah, I've said I've not figured out what it's going to be. It's definitely not a cookbook, but yeah, there always is food in there. And I tend to tie the food to the characters. Like the Loco Moco thing came because Jared in the Mina books is Hawaiian and it's a Hawaiian dish that he makes. And the beignets and certain other New Orleans things, like po' boys, which are these big meaty sandwiches. I think that the food can give a flavour of the place without making too much of a pun on food. Whereas this place is made up. Maybe that's why I'm taking a little while to vibe with it, because I've made this one up. I've kind of got to build a whole sort of world, and a whole place, and the place feels grounded in the real world. It's not really, like a fantasy world or anything. I think I haven't quite figured it out, and I don't know. I normally am inclined to go back and edit, but it's a bit of a toss up of, do I keep writing for a bit more? Do I go back and edit it? Okay, yeah, this is true. Oh, I'm glad they were good. That's so exciting. Maybe I need to make some. I did, because I looked up the recipe once. I've eaten them at Disney. The Disney ones weren't really like real beignets. They were more like donuts. But yeah, since going to New Orleans, I've really wanted to make them. But yeah, I'm not that adventurous with cooking. I'm okay at cooking, but there's certain things I know how to make really well. And I eat a lot of meat and fish with vegetables, so it's kind of not anything complex. So whenever I see people making cool stuff, I get excited. Okay, so I'm going to go and do some more writing and probably watch a little bit of Substance. I'm also going to sneeze at some point, whether it's on the stream or not. Sorry if I just sneezed just as I managed to pause it. So let's go to sprints, and I'll see you on the other side. No, I wasn't ready because we are watching The Substance again. I got to a point in my writing where I was just like not feeling it, and I think because this book isn't under any great rush, it's just kind of a thing I'm working on while I'm waiting for my edits on my Dracula book to come back. So I'm just trying to make a bit of headway on a new project. So I'm just trying not to push myself too hard. So yeah, we are watching The Substance. And oh man, it's really extreme. It's really gruesome. I think this one just isn't for me. I can see exactly what the director is going for. It's a lot in terms of horror, and it's quite graphic, and the themes are really dark. I think the themes are what actually drew me in, and I do still want to know what happens because, as Andrea said, it is going quite wild at the end. So I think it's on those that if you haven't watched it yet, just read some content warnings, read some reviews, and see what you think. Because as we were watching it yesterday, I was like, I just went on Rotten Tomatoes just to see, and it was really split. Like, I haven't ever seen a film, I don't think, where it's got as many 5 stars as 1 star reviews. And I don't know that I'd rate it 1 stars because I don't know, I don't think I ever really rate any art as 1 star because I can usually find merit and see what the person was going for. But yeah, I think it's not for me, but I am really curious to see how it ends. I'm a bit scared. I am playing my game at the same time because I'm just sort of disassociating when I get to bits that I don't like. I'm just kind of hiding, hiding my face. That sounds so lovely. And you know what? I need to do this more. I tend to listen to audiobooks when I'm driving and stuff like that, but I never actually think of doing a nice, like, cozy activity while I do it, like knitting or sewing or journaling. I have got a journal now. I've not been very good at filling it in. As always happens when I journal. I bought a pre-populated one from, I think it's called My Journal Addiction. It's really beautiful. I just haven't been sitting and filling it in, so I probably need to. You've reminded me, Chloe. Ooh, so close, Molly. We'll do one more sprint, so hopefully you'll get it read during that. Yeah, I mean, if you're going into it with that awareness, Chloe, just be mindful. I went into it with that awareness, and I'm still really, really shocked. I don't know how hardcore you are compared to me. It just depends, doesn't it? People have different thresholds for different types of horror, and it's so subtle. It's really hard to figure out if somebody else is going to like something or not. So yeah, just go into it with your eyes open. And with films, I don't tend to DNF them as often as I do books because I feel like a film is only a couple of hours, and I was intrigued enough to keep going. Yeah, that's a good idea. Yeah, mine is one where you can color in the stuff that's already pre-illustrated, and then I've been using it to map out my week and my freelance writing and stuff, which is useful when I do it. I'm doing the work, I'm just not doing the actual mapping it out in advance always. Yeah, I need to get better at that. Okay, so I'm going to go and watch a little bit more of the substance, well, the end of the substance probably during the sprint. So if I come back and I'm absolutely horrified, I will tell you. I'm a bit scared. Well, yeah, we'll do 40 minutes. I think we're going to watch the substance, then we're probably going to go straight to watching From. Um, yeah, interesting. I don't know. I suppose if you're doing like the colouring and decorating side of it, I'm probably the same, Marlene. Yeah, I think if I tend to be doing housework and driving when I listen to audiobooks. So yeah, I'm never doing anything really very fun. So I might try the doing something that I can do with my hands without thinking of words when I do it. Right, I'm gonna pop the timer on. Another 40 minutes. I'll see you on the other side. Let's hope I'm still emotionally whole by that point. See you. Hello. So that was it, the final sprint. I finished watching The Substance. I have lots of thoughts. I think I need like maybe a week to process them. Definitely not my kind of film. However, I don't even know what word I would use to describe it. Like really inventive, really different. So very gory and body horror-y. Like I can't even. It really, really goes very heavy on the everything that I just said in the last half an hour. So yeah, I don't really know. I didn't expect that actually. I should have read a bit more about it probably, but I wanted to go in not knowing. So that yeah, that was it. And then we started watching From, which is also really dark and a bit bleak. So I don't know what I'm going to think of that either. I'm not a big fan of bleak. I quite like there to be a seed of hope and joy in things, at least. Like The Walking Dead didn't keep me going for that reason, that I found the joy sort of a bit too far between in that. Um, I've watched quite a bit of it, but it didn't ever. I think the early stuff gripped me quite a lot, but I just find, I don't know, like the dystopian thing quite hard watching. So we'll see how we get on with From. Lots of people have recommended it to me, but so far it seems quite dark. And anybody who knows my content warnings, there's a bit right near the beginning, which is something that I really don't like. So we'll see. I need to watch something really happy and joyful, I think, after watching all this dark stuff. Yeah, I think it would depend what journaling. Yeah, I totally am with you there, Chloe. Like I sometimes when I'm doing some of my freelance work at home, I can have the TV on and I'm fine. And other times I realize that I've been working for 20 minutes and like the TV is just gradually at some point faded out of my consciousness and I've got no idea what's happening anymore. So yeah, it just depends. But that's impressive that you're managing both. Okay, that's interesting. Yeah, I think podcasts are definitely something about the way that they're sort of episodic, maybe. I'm the same. I think I can probably manage a bit more podcast. Yeah, I do switch off slightly during audiobooks. I don't think I take it all in. I think I read best. Do I read a physical book best? I think I skip a little bit on my Kindle. I don't think I have ever missed much, but I read really fast on my Kindle just on flicking the pages. I think a physical book makes me read at a sensible pace that I can actually really take in while I'm reading. I do love reading my Kindle. So yeah, I kind of read using all of the formats, I guess. Excellent. Oh, fun. What are you getting up to in London, Chloe? Oh, well done. Did you enjoy the book? Was it good? I think what we are going to do, it's getting close to bedtime now. We're going to probably finish this first episode of From and I'll decide whether I can cope with it. Thank you for joining me tonight. It's been lovely to chat to people in the comments. I enjoy having friends on screen, but also it's really nice sometimes to just. Oh, awesome. Remind me, what were you reading, Marlene? I'm just going to go back and see if I can find it. Just can't remember. Uh, oh, the sequel to Space Between Worlds. I'm so glad you enjoyed it. I don't know. I do sometimes think I should read more sci-fi, but I don't know. Like the actual science part of the fi, I have a problem with the fiction part. Fine, the science is where I get a little lost. Oh, you're so welcome. It's been fun. Yes, yeah. I mean, it's definitely the point is very, very strong, and that was why I was so excited to watch it because I think that it's a really like a really important idea to get across, but it wasn't my preferred way. But you're exactly right, Andreas. I think I don't know a huge amount about the inspirations, but obviously it was done, everything was really deliberate, just not to my taste. Ooh. Oh, that sounds interesting, both of those. Yeah, I do. I love slashers. They're my favorite. Um, oh, I haven't heard of Oddity. Oh, I love a remote Irish story. Oh, amazing. It's not the serial killer one, is it? Let me know what it's like because I was looking into going to the serial killer exhibition next time I go, but that sounds like it might be something slightly different. Jealous. I went to the Tim Burton exhibition just by myself, got on a train. And I really enjoyed it, and it made me think that I want to go like every time I go to London, as often as I can, really, to go and see something cool. Oh, I love a podcast in fiction. That sounds interesting. Yeah, I've not watched much Japanese. I nearly said literature. I'm tired. Cinema. That's the word I wanted. Thank you, Andreas. I'm glad this will be saved in the comments because I can go back. Oh, the serial killer. Oh man, Chloe, I'm so jealous. Please tell me how gory it is because that was the only thing I was worried about. Like, is it really graphic? So let me know. It sounds so interesting. I was kind of hoping I'd go and get some writing inspiration from it at some point. I don't know when it ends, so I'll have to try. Oh, please do report back. Take pictures if you're allowed. I don't know whether that's the thing. I thought you weren't allowed at the Tim Burton exhibition because in other countries they'd not let you, and then it was the final stop. I don't know whether they changed their minds or whether the rules are different in England. Please do. That's so exciting. Okay, cool. So I'm gonna go and watch some From. But good night, everyone. Good day if you're in a different time zone. Hopefully I'll see you soon. Yes, definitely. I hope Chloe will enjoy that. Bye, everyone.